NDP MPP Guy Bourgouin held a press conference at Queen's Park yesterday to introduce a private member's bill that will improve maintenance standards and make winter driving safer on Northern Ontario's main highways 11 and 17. MPP for the Mushkegowuk James Bay, Bourgouin was joined by representatives from northern communities and businesses who said improving winter road maintenance in Northern Ontario is urgently needed. Bourgouin's bill will ensure that highways 11 and 17 are maintained with the province's strictest requirements for snow removal. By classifying the northern highways the same as all 400 series highways and the QEW, snow must be removed within 8 hours of the end of a snowfall. The Ministry of Transportation's snow removal classification standards depend on the type of highway and traffic volumes, not on climate or vehicle size and weight. Bourgouin's bill would bump up highways 11 and 17 to Class 1 in all of their sections, whether 2 or 4 lane, and eliminate vehicular traffic specifications. The OPP released their Opioids and Overdoses Impact and Strategies report, highlighting the alarming increase of opioid overdoses and deaths across Ontario. The report has identified a 35% increase in overdose deaths during the first quarter of 2019 compared to 2018. And since September 2017, the OPP has administered naloxone on 79 occasions and saved 73 lives, with the highest numbers in March and April. The focus of the OPP Opioids Working Group during the past year has been to establish foundational elements to respond to the opioid crisis. Ontario introduced legislation yesterday to limit wage increases for public sector workers, including teachers and nurses, a move major unions said could derail ongoing contract negotiations, spark protests, and give rise to a court challenge. The bill would cap wage increases to an average of 1% a year for 3 years for the broader public sector. Treasury Board President Peter Bethlen-Falvey called it a fair and time-limited approach as the Progressive Conservative government works to eliminate an $11.7 billion deficit. The legislation applies to employees at school boards, universities and colleges, hospitals, long-term care homes, Orange Air Ambulance Service, children's aid societies, broader public sector organizations and boards and commissions that receive at least $1 million in provincial funding. It doesn't apply to municipalities, including their fire and police services. More than 1 million broader public sector employees would be affected by the bill, which was introduced the day before the legislature is set to rise for a summer break. President of the Ontario Public Service Employees Union, Smokey Thomas, raised the possibility of a charter challenge, saying the legislation violated unions' ability to bargain collectively. He also said unions are already preparing to protest. Conservative MPs pressed the Liberals about what the government is doing to end a deepening diplomatic dispute with China, including the timeline to name a new ambassador to China.
Now, 5 months ago, former Liberal Cabinet Minister John McCallum had to resign in shame as our ambassador to China. We're now in June and the Prime Minister has not appointed a replacement.
That's right.
Canadians are being detained on bogus charges, soybean producers are facing new barriers, and canola producers are having shipments blocked. And now the Chinese government is going after our meat producers. This is going from bad to worse. Why has the Prime Minister not appointed an ambassador to China?
We are very concerned with the detention of Canadians in China, and that's why we're rallying an important amount of friendly countries, and also that we were able to make sure that we have a joint statement with the United States calling for the immediate release and, of course, rejecting the wrongful detentions of Michael Spavor and Michael Kovrig. Thank you.
U.S. President Donald Trump spoke in Ireland before leaving for D-Day events in France. Trump said trade talks with Mexico are ongoing, but Mexico has been told the tariffs go on. He also said Mexico and China both want to make trade deals.
Mexico was in yesterday. They're coming back this morning in Washington. They'll be meeting at the White House. I think a lot of progress was made yesterday, but we have to make a lot of progress. Mexico's been making for many, many years hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, they've been making an absolute fortune on the United States. They have to step up, and they have to step up to the plate. And perhaps they will. We're going to see. They can solve the problem.